Okay, now we're gonna cut up some chicken here. I've got a big old 18-ounce chicken leg quarter. These things are pretty much the low end of your price having to pay. Is these chicken leg quarters are quite cheap. It's the leg, the thigh, and half a back, all connected. I go right in here. You just find that in between. Look how easy it is to cut. Effortless. Right in between, right on the knuckle. Then I will take and start cutting in to the good part of the meat. I just kind of peeled it back like that. There's a thigh bone right in there. I'll just lay some of this meat. I'll take and I'll grab it with my shears, hold tight, and twist it, pop it open, and then find right in between that joint and cut it. Okay, here's your half a back. There's an old back, just flip some bone. Get this thigh bone cut out. Every speck of meat does not going to be cut off. That's plenty good right there. Now let's get this leg bone cut out. Spear in there just like that if you want. You don't have to. It'll open it up. Makes it so easy. Now, when your pup, you first start feeding him with skin wrapped tight after he's been there a week or so, just expose the meat like that a couple, 3 places, and he can just get in there and get that meat off easier and then eat his bone. Yes, he'll get grass or some grit, dirt on it. Don't worry about that. Honestly, it'll all be okay. Now let's just cut some of this boneless meat up. Little bite-sized, good pieces for them. There ain't no set on size. Puppies you get from me can swallow a way bigger piece than I make them. But they'll grab several pieces at once. Okay, it's all cut up and done. Let's weigh us out 12 ounces of it. Let's put the 2 bones in, and then we'll start dropping on the meat until we get to 12 ounces. That's that. So we got some extra meat here. You can now put that in with something else. Got a few ounces here. Put that in with something else. It don't have to be 1 meat per meal. You can put 3 or 4 meats per meal. Take your little leftover. There's another bone in. Half of a meal. Right there. Little over 6 ounces. Just in that little old bit that's left over. So let's put that right here. Now we're going to go to rabbit. Okay, now we got us some rabbit. And I've already taken and kind of quartered it up. Cut it up in big pieces here. So previously, save a little time so we can make some boneless meals, bone-in meals. Something tells me we're going to make more than 10 meals today. We're going to get in here and maybe make 14. Make us a week's worth. Okay, let's dig right in on this old rabbit. Let's get some boneless meal first. We may find the little bone in this piece. No, thought I felt a bone cutting it up, but got a 3.5 pound rabbit here. Now we got the little legs right here, so we'll cut some meat off that thing. Make us a boneless meal here right quick. See what we got. $12 ounces. A little bit left over. All right. 12-ounce meal of rabbit. Boneless. Now let's go with some bone-in parts. We got the leg in this, the other leg in this, but we're going to go ahead, cut the meat off of it sort of here. So His little legs are pretty small. Up here in this one part where it hooked on, it's a little bit of a big knuckle, but any pup for me should be able to eat that after you get it, no problem. Cut us a leg there. Cut a little more meat off this guy. Just get it down to the smaller part of the bone. Makes it a little easier in the beginning for him to eat it when he's not so brave at your house at first. The more meat on it, the longer it takes, and he carries it around a little more. Now we got some little ribs right here. We'll take a little meat off of them guys. Okay, then we'll just going to cut in here about every 3 ribs over, and or so. Now we got some legs and ribs. I bet we got 12 ounces already. Oh, yeah. Yep. Another meal right here. Bone-in rabbit. See how easy this is? I mean, people dread this. They think it's going to be so hard. It's nothing about it hard. Let's make another rabbit meal. See what we can come up with here. And maybe you've got some other boneless meals and you need some bone. Look at that fine little rabbit bone right there. You put that in with something else. Yes, you can put rabbit bones in with chicken or turkey or pork or beef. Anything else. It don't have to be the bone match the meat. You just need the bone. It doesn't have to match. We'll have us another little meal of rabbit here in no time. Get all the boneless over on this side. I want a decent amount of boneless, not just all bone. I could shell out a whole meal of bone here, but with a little bit of meat left on it. I don't want to do it that way. I'm going to have some good meat to it. Rabbit's a little expensive, but nothing like the quail. That quail was high. It wasn't quite as high as I thought. It was $16 for 6 of them, and I didn't think they weighed quite as much as they do, so it's not that bad. It was still probably $9 or $10 a pound. Now let's cut a little more of this up a little better. Hope this don't get too boring, sitting watching me cut up meat. Okay. I'm just maybe going to go a whole boneless meal. Yeah. I'm just needing the tiniest piece. There we are. Another boneless meal. Got bone-in rabbit. Boneless rabbit. Now, maybe you need some bones for something else. This is kind of old backbone. Here's some more. 12-week pup, 14. Crunch that right up, no problem. These little babies, I mean, any 7 or 8 week pup for me can crunch them like nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to, right quick, take these little bones and this rib cage here. Let's see how much we've got, what we can do with that thing. It's endless what you can do with it. Mix and match, put in something else. Whoops, went on my readout. Got 7-something ounces there. Let's just take and kind of cut that little piece. Now let's cut right down in between some of these little rib bones. We'll make it little smaller chunks for it to chew up. Like that. Now maybe we could put some of this in with the boneless meal. Maybe in a meal you're looking, you're like, oh, I need a bone-in meal. Well, here's you some rabbit meat, mainly bone, but a little bit of meat. 7 ounces there to put in with something else. It's like so we had previously, and I have moved it, but we had about 6 ounces of something else. It and this makes another meal. It's that simple. I'll hunt that up. Okay, found the piece of lamb from an earlier meal. We have rabbit and lamb together now. Got quite a bit of bone in that, high bone percentage. But we got 9 ounces total. Now we're going to put this just boneless lamb in there. We'll get the 12 ounces, we'll stop. Whoops. Yeah, I drop it around sometimes. There. Okay. Tiniest ever piece. Not worried about it. Throw it in. That's a tiny speck. Now we got lamb and rabbit. So we come out with several meals from the old rabbit and 2 bigger chunks of just kind of bone back and such that you can put in with something else when he's a little bigger. No problem.